Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Joking Dolphin Gaming Podcast. I'm Mark, and as always, I'm joined by Mathew
Hello.
and Nathan.
Welcome.
How are we, boys? It's a bit sunny, aren't it? And we're
It is.
stuck in here
Is it? I'm frozen.
doing this. You're frozen.
It might be sunny, but it ain't warm.
Actually, to be honest, it has been pretty nippy the past few days.
Yeah.
Right, lot to talk about. So let's head into the news. I think the obvious one, well, in my view, is Microsoft has acquired ZeniMax Media, $7.5 billion.
Billion dollars.
I did say
the
that amount of
second
money.
biggest gaming acquisition ever.
So basically this covers, so they've now bought, so that's the parent company of Bethesda Softworks, Bethesda Game Studios, ID Software, ZeniMax Online Studios, Arcane, Machine Games, Tango Gameworks, AlphaDog, and Roundhouse Studios. So this ends up covering games such as Elder Scrolls, Fallout, Dishonored, Prey, Wolfenstein, Doom, Quake, Rage. Quite a list. Quite an acquisition.
Yeah, definitely.
What's your thoughts on this then?
I think it's good because it makes the Xbox look a lot more enticing.
Yes,
Before it was a little bit sparse in terms of first-party games. I think we can all agree, and I think this has really pushed it a lot. One thing that I'm worried about is this going to start like a bit of a land grab of developers. Like, are people going to start trying to move for Rockstar, Rocksteady, others?
yeah, it's a bit of a double-edged sword, really, isn't it? Because I'm sort of in agreement. It's like, yeah, this is good because it makes the Xbox more viable in terms of like first-party things for competitive with. Because let's be honest, PS4 destroyed Xbox this generation, so
Yeah.
they needed something. So obviously they've kind of thrown the money at the problem,
Yeah.
a whole lot of money, and he's saying about it. I'm not quite sure it's worth that, but that's what they've done. But yeah, it's certainly made it more viable for me to get an Xbox.
Yeah, and a lot of those games are going to be available on Day Pass, day one of when the acquisition goes through. So
I think it might be a while before we see actual exclusives, though.
yeah,
this might be
definitely,
more.
'cause they've said
This might be a thing more for like the following generation, really, because there's going to be a lot of things they're already working on, aren't there? I don't know if they're going to be suddenly Xbox
can't just pull the
exclusives.
plug on it. Yeah,
Yeah, there'll be already deals in place for PlayStation, sure.
yeah. Well, like with Deathloop, for example,
Yeah.
that's still going to be coming out on the PlayStation. So I think there will be a cut-off point though after the acquisition takes place, and then we'll see what Microsoft's going to do with it. Whether they are going to be doing timed exclusives or whether it's going to be just pure exclusives for the Xbox, which is personally what I'd do. If you're going to spend 7.5 billion, you're going to want something out of it.
Yeah, you're gonna have to, surely. You won't spend that much money and not make it exclusive. That's just silly.
Well, I think it'd be dangerous if they made everything exclusive. I think they'd have to take certain games on a case-by-case basis. Because, like,
Yeah,
I mean, if you look at something as big as Elder Scrolls, like, if they just kept it on Xbox, all right, it'll probably tempt a lot of people to go to Xbox. But, make it so it's on PlayStation as well. I mean, you've already got like the rights to it. That'll just make you more money for people who buy on PlayStation as well. And it's gonna be the same for like Deathloop and is it Ghostwire Tokyo? Like, I think Microsoft came out and said we're not messing with those. Those are still timed exclusives for PlayStation. But the people that buy on PlayStation still make Microsoft the money. So.
Yeah, but they want to sell like juicy hardware, don't they?
That's it. They want to get that 450 quid console down your throat.
No, I think Microsoft's really moved over to being more about the software. Because otherwise, why would they have this Game Pass? Like, they're losing money on it effectively, but they can afford to lose that so long as it brings more eyes to their brand. I mean, that's why they keep on wanting to say they want to put it on like every available platform. If they could.
I mean, do you think going forward, maybe not, well, definitely not the next generation, but maybe the generation after that, are Xbox just going to be a software company and they'll bring things out for everything?
No.
Do we not think so?
I don't think they would. I still think they'd they will still have the Xbox brand because I think they've gone too far now to just kind of
Pull the plug on it.
yeah.
Let's be honest, they're still selling well, aren't they? Xbox.
Oh yeah, it's not like Xbox One was a failure.
They keep selling. They're going to keep selling.
Yeah, it's not like Wii U levels of failure.
No. Although they are Wii U levels of badly naming things.
Very true.
Yeah. Don't get started on all the names. I can't remember. Did you hear the thing about parents accidentally buying the Xbox One?
Xbox One X.
Yeah, because they thought it was the new one. So that seems to have bumped up in the in my
Well, it did, didn't it? Yeah, it was when they released the
shouldn't laugh.
When they released the date for when Xbox Series X was coming, apparently Xbox One X got like a surge in sales on Amazon.
Yeah.
It was like up 700% than what it was. It was like,
That's how you sell consoles. Poor naming.
Imagine that kid at Christmas though. Expecting you one and you open the one you've already got.
Have you seen some of them pranks on Facebook? Basically, somebody orders somebody a game, but it's for the wrong console, so they got them like FIFA for PS3 rather than PS4, and the person's like, "What?" It's just going mental. It's great.
No, it's
So
like,
of course you'd like that.
It's like that video of what was it? There's a kid at Christmas that ends up getting the book Mein Kampf, and like the parent was like, "No, we wanted Minecraft."
Yeah.
Granddad.
Well, we're less than 10 minutes in, and we've already got the first Nazi joke in, so it's going well. Hey, speaking of Nazis, I'm looking forward to Wolfenstein on the Xbox. Love the Wolfenstein franchise.
Still not played any. I've actually bought them all.
Still not the new ones are great. I think the first one's New Order.
I've heard they're a tad difficult.
They're not. Well, I have mine on super easy difficulty, so it's not that bad for me.
Well, you can't say anything.
Well, I'll do the same anyway. So
yeah. No, they're really enjoyable. Good shooters. There's a lot of humour there. At the end of, I think the second main game, because there's a few ones.
I'm going into spoiler territory anyway.
There's a few ones external to it, but it does push the envelope a bit in terms of craziness. The end of the second one.
Cool. I look forward.
So yeah, you'll see that.
Don't say anything about that. I'm like halfway through the second.
Yeah, but I think overall it's great for Microsoft, great for Xbox. It makes it look a lot more enticing. And
Xbox needed something, didn't they?
Mm.
I mean, I don't want this to. Sorry, go on.
I was just going to say I'm looking forward to see what they do with it because, well, as we all know, Microsoft is very cash rich, and they could do a lot with Bethesda and all the other sub companies that they purchased via that acquisition. Hopefully, it's not going to be another Rare where they just fade into obscurity. But well, we'll see what happens.
Microsoft, give them money to build a new engine, please.
Well, I think they do have a new engine going on to it because I think I don't know if it was in the last 2 weeks now, but there was a couple of screenshots. Yeah, there were a couple of screenshots leaked of Starfield, the new like sci-fi space opera game that Bethesda are working on. It looks okay for screenshots.
Didn't they say that was running on the old one? I thought they did.
I wouldn't have thought so. That'd be very dangerous if it was running on the old one, considering.
I thought they said that ages ago. Maybe they've changed. I don't know.
They could have done. I'm assuming the new engine is for the next Elder Scrolls.
They've got to do something though. They can't carry
it. It is an old engine, yeah.
So, I was going to say, I don't want this to become a trend now. I don't want suddenly everybody to be hoovering up studios.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I mean,
it's like it's a double-edged sword. Really, it's like this is sort of good because it makes Xbox enticing, but I don't want this to carry on.
Well, I mean, they've come and said like this isn't the last studio they're going to be buying, and there's already rumors about them potentially buying Sega.
Yeah, I think it all depends if Microsoft give Bethesda the freedom, because I think if they try and make it all corporate and change the environment, then it'll affect the games, as we've seen in the past with different studios being purchased. So I think it's all down to how they handle it and the transition of Bethesda becoming a Microsoft first-party company. But if they keep things the same, roughly speaking, and put some money behind them, then I can only see good things.
Did you see the people have started getting their hands on the Series X now? Did you see some of the compatibility tests? There's one by Digital Foundry.
Oh yeah.
So basically, they were comparing the Series X with the Xbox One X.
Xbox One X, wasn't it?
Every time I say that now, I'm thinking about, is that the correct name? But yeah, Xbox
Series X, Xbox One X.
But yeah, so there was basically showing how there was like frame rate drops on this current generation, and then the new one seemed to be pretty much fixing it at 60 frames for just about all. Well, I can't remember which games they chose. They specifically chose different games to test it on, which they knew would be.
Mm.
But one of them was Hitman. I remember that. Did look good. But yeah, so they're kind of like locked at 60 frames per second now. They did look a lot smoother. So just wondering how the PlayStation's going to match up.
Well, you've got to think it'll be similar. Definitely.
You'd hope so.
You'd hope so. You'd hope so. I think the Xbox has proved that they can do sort of powered compatible but make it better. Just with the Xbox One X, what they did with the 360 titles, so stuff like Red Dead Redemption ran a lot more smoother and looked a little bit better on the One X than it did on 360. And it doesn't surprise me. It's just the same with the Series X doing Xbox One games much better. So I think it's some of that I think Microsoft have over Sony at the moment. I'd like to see what Sony can do, but I've got a feeling just with Spider-Man as an example that I don't think they can quite do what Xbox does. Because then they've had to remaster.
What have they done to him? What have they done to Peter Parker? He's not the
done
same
my
anymore.
boy.
Yeah, so on the remaster, apparently they recast Peter Parker. Yeah, it looks different, doesn't it?
It looks worse. I've seen comparisons and it looks worse. I don't know how they can say it's next gen. For me.
When this was first announced or first shown, I looked on Twitter and everyone said, "Oh, it looks more like Tom Holland." I'm like, it looks nothing like Tom Holland.
No,
it looks younger, but it don't look anything like Tom Holland.
I got a little hint of Tom Holland from him. He's not exactly the look of him, but he does a little bit.
It just looks a bit younger. That's it. But not.
They've Marvel Avenged him.
Yeah, not a fan.
it's a bit on Botox or something, because after the adventure it went on in the first game, got to think it'd start to take its toll, but no, evidently not.
He does look younger, is what worries me. Is that he's meant to be in his early 20s, but
I guess he could still. He's in his early 20s, 21.
I don't
know what age he's supposed to be exactly.
Like 22, 23, I think, isn't he?
Something like that. Like he's been in the crime fighting business for quite a few years. Actually, I think was it 10 years? Did they make it so that it was he'd been in doing it for a decade or something like that?
I don't know.
I don't know if it was quite that long. It might be about 7 years actually. But
a serious note though is I saw a tweet earlier from an Insomniac creative director, Brian Intihar. I tweeted earlier that apparently he's received death threats over this change. So,
wow.
Okay, people.
Yeah, it's something you don't want to see. I mean, we had the same thing with The Last of Us Part 2, like the voice actors getting death threats. It's like, yeah, you might not like something, but just don't take it to that level.
This is the side of gaming that I absolutely hate. Just any change or something that people don't like, they have to go off so toxic on the developers.
I mean, you can push your displeasure and say, I don't like this. That's fine.
Well, yeah.
But to go that far, it's just what? Why? Hey,
you've got to remember that. On the other hand, these are the people that gave you what you loved in the first place.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Staggering.
It's just some idiots, honestly.
Speaking of Spider-Man as well, though, Insomniac has confirmed that on Mike Morales. What?
Miles
Morales.
I've accidentally wrote Mike.
Mike.
Yeah.
That's
Miles.
That's the vanilla version.
Autocorrect. Apparently, the pre-order suits in that game can be earned in-game as well.
Oh, that's good.
So you won't be locked to not getting them.
Well, I think it was similar to the first Spider-Man, wasn't it? I think if you pre-ordered, you got
Yes.
you got the suits early, but at some point you'd eventually lock them in the game anyway. So
Yeah, that's actually kind of what they actually tweeted. So somebody asked them about, can you get the suits in game?
yeah.
I think the response was it'll just be like the first game. That's it. That's all they said.
Although I'd be interested to know because I think they're making some new suits for the Spider-Man remaster as well, where one of them is the Amazing Spider-Man suit, the first one that Andrew Garfield wore.
All right.
I would like to know if that would come to the PS4 version as well. Like, please don't lock it to the remaster.
I'm sure it will. I'm sure it'll be fine. Also, though, Xbox Series X and S has got a feature that lets users delete parts of games to free up space. Did you hear about this?
No, I've heard about
That's
it.
interesting.
Although I think I know Call of Duty Modern Warfare does that currently. So if you don't, if you finish with the single player or if you don't bother with co-op.
This is kind of what I'm going to mention. So, apparently, Xbox Series X development producer Jason Ronald stated one of the new features we're adding is actually for if a title chooses to support it, the ability to selectively uninstall different components of the game. So let's say you play a campaign as an example, and then you want to focus exclusively on multiplayer. So Call of Duty springs to mind, obviously.
Yeah.
Because that takes up far too much room for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
If the developers choose to support it, you can actually uninstall the campaign itself so that you can be more in control of how you're actually using your storage. So you really get the most benefit out of the available storage that you have. I like that. I'd like that to happen on PS5 as well, but I think this just sounds
I
like
think it's a really good
I
idea.
mean, it sounds like at least Call of Duty will do it.
Yeah, it needs to. It really needs
Although
to.
saying that, like, how much data would the single player actually take up compared to like the amount of updates that multiplayer and Warzone take up? I feel like it'd be a very small amount.
Well, it might be negligible, but I think it's a step in the right direction because
yeah.
the hard drives haven't really, in terms of stats, they've improved, but in terms of space, they've not that much since the last generation. And we're going to need every gigabyte we can get our hands on. So, I think it's good that they're doing that.
I saw someone tweet earlier that Modern Warfare no longer fits on a 250 gig SSD hard drive anymore. It exceeds it. So,
do you know what they're going to end up doing? In the middle of the next generation, there'll be a game that you'll have to buy, but with it, you'll get the expandable hard drive to fit the game on.
Oh, I wish.
Yeah, because Xbox have launched that Seagate expansion, haven't they?
Yeah.
Do you think that should just come with Call of Duty? Probably should.
Oh, that little memory card thing.
Yeah.
That's $220, I believe, for an extra terabyte. I think.
Yeah. Just package that with next Call of Duty. Just have it branded or something. Because that's all. That's the only thing that's going to be able to fit on it.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. Memory cards are coming back into fashion after they got rid of them in the PS3 era.
Speaking of Call of Duty, did you hear about Activision has banned 20,000 more accounts on Warzone?
Oh, I heard about this. Yeah, I heard about it.
So
good.
Together, this is with back in April they banned like 50,000 other accounts. So a lot of cheaters. Yeah. There's no wonder I don't play Warzone if those sorts of stuff. To be honest, that's actually quite small compared to the number of people playing it, but it makes you wonder how many people are getting away with it. That's it.
Well,
but anyway, it was a cheat they were using called engine owning. Now, I didn't know what this was, so I looked it up. And so apparently you have to subscribe and pay for this cheat service.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. So I had to look on Trustpilot. So there's some reviews for this particular cheat thing.
Oh yeah.
So I shall quote. So this is a review of it. So I've got 2 reviews here. This is the first one. Right. 5 stars. I've been playing Warzone since it came out. This last month, I came across engine owning and was excited but scared to make my first purchase. Buying hacks for video games can be sketchy, but you could tell just by their website and open forum that they were legit. So I ended up purchasing the 24-hour hack for Warzone. My mind was blown. Wall hacks, radar, aimbot, they had everything.
Okay.
I've not had this much fun in a video game in a long time. After downloading the hack, which was super simple, I opened my game and a giant menu popped up for full customization of the hacks. I mean, so much you can change to your liking. Aimbot can be adjusted so it's not super obvious you are hacking, which is nice. A slight edge sometimes is all you need, but it will do all the aiming for you if you let it. The wall hacks, just knowing where everyone is at all times is insane and nice. And it goes on to say some other stuff. So there you go. 5-star
my
review of the
goodness.
engine.
Like,
But the next review,
Okay.
1 star. I wasted $56 just for my account to get banned. F you, engine owning. Worst provider yet. You useless piece of S website. So,
What were you expecting, my dude? What the...
this is amazing.
Oh
The
no, I
legit
got
hack
banned
website.
because I
That's
used
fantastic.
hacks.
so there you go.
What's the point in even playing the game? Just sit back and leave it on autopilot, auto aiming, looking through walls.
Yeah, I don't understand why you'd bother playing a game with without aimbots. That's just.
I know
thought
people
the
hate
whole
this,
point is
but
you shoot.
just get good. Just
Yeah.
play the game like everybody else.
I don't,
How
it's
about
like
just don't ruin everyone else's fun, you idiots? One is a
look,
stronger word. But...
Another 1 star. 1 star here. It says, I bought the hack yesterday. I used it for a full day, and I loved it. But I ended up losing my main account, which I had legitimately played on 40 days of gameplay.
Why waste it though?
I made
Knowing
4
that-
accounts, and one by one, I got a shadow ban on every single one.
Good.
That's
I
it.
think
You
got
say-
IP banned, probably.
But this quote in particular, it's just like, why would you do this? This is, I was tired of losing to people with aimbot, so I decided to try it out for curiosity. Are you a moron? What? That's just asking for trouble.
Sometimes you live long enough to become the villain, and that's this
Yeah,
guy.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there you go. I just thought that was quite interesting. But if you're going to do that, you got to expect to be banned, don't you? I mean, what were they thinking? What were you actually thinking?
Honestly, some people blow my mind completely.
That's what they're hoping to do.
Well, yeah, with the aimbot and the wall hacks. Although saying that, apparently in the new update that Call of Duty just did, they introduced a new assault rifle called the AS Val, and apparently it's the most broken gun ever. Apparently you can shoot through walls, like 4 walls, and kill a guy without needing hacks. So
Sounds about right.
that needs fixed.
Yeah. See, this is sort of stuff I don't play Call of Duty really. You know? It's just I just don't like the community, really.
That's probably why I stick to World War II. It's just I don't have to talk to anyone, and it's just a good COD overall. I think Modern Warfare is a good COD, but
World War II is just a bit more old school, isn't it? I think.
Yeah.
well, that's it, isn't it? It's a little bit
Bit
more
slower
like
pace.
yeah, it's a little bit more reliable on like actual gunplay rather than anything else.
Anywho, now another quite unsavoury thing is CD Projekt Red has issued mandatory crunch in the final stages of Cyberpunk 2077's
yeah.
development. This is after they previously announced that they weren't going to do any crunch, that there wasn't going to be any for Cyberpunk, and yet now they've gone back on that. So there was an email to staff that circulated saying it's going up to 6 days a week work, and I've got a note here from the studio head, Adam Badowski. Said, I take it upon myself to receive the full backlash for the decision. I know this is in direct opposition to what we said about crunch. It's also in direct opposition to what I personally grew to believe a while back, that crunch should never be the answer. But we've extended all other possible means of navigating the situation. What's your thoughts on this?
Have they? They could just extend the release time.
This is the thing, though. I think they were on. I had it to nothing. I think it was a lose either way. Either they delay it, and I think people would be straight on the backs. Fans would have been straight onto it. Saying, "Oh, I can't believe you're delaying this again," because it's been delayed twice.
Yeah, fans are a bit fickle.
Yeah, they will. But now that they've announced they're doing this, they've also got fans on the backs saying,
Yeah.
"Oh, why don't you just delay it?" They want to win either way, really.
Yeah, I think
Well,
there's ways and means, because it sounds like the director has gone against his values to do it this way as well, because he said it's something that he didn't want to do.
But I'm going to counter this to say that COVID wasn't a thing last year. That will have had a massive impact.
True. Yeah.
I can imagine.
Well, it's the reason why it
does,
got delayed the first time, wasn't it?
Well, that's all you need to say to people. People will understand.
No, people don't understand that. That's the thing.
No, there'd still be fans who'd be roaring up in arms like, "Bro, so what about COVID? You've been working at home. Why can't you just, work harder or something?"
Adam Badowski put another tweet, and he's put, "These last 6 weeks are our final sprint to the project we've all spent much of our lives on. Something to be careful deeply. The majority of the team understands that push, especially in light of the fact that we've just sent the game to cert, and every day brings us visibly closer to shipping a game we want to be proud of. This is one of the hardest decisions I've had to make, but everyone is well compensated for every extra hour they put in. And like in recent years, 10% of the annual profit of our company generates in 2020 will be split directly among the team."
I mean, that's
good at least.
I mean, let's face it, every couple of months or few months, there's a game and it comes out, and there's been crunch culture, that everyone's sprinting to the finish line. But I think this is it's good that everyone's being compensated properly, because I doubt in most of the companies they'll probably just be on the base salary and they'll be expected to work those hours. And that they get a percentage of the sales is good as well, because then they've got a vested interest in how well the game does, so they'll work a little bit harder and make it as good as it can be, which is also good. So yeah, I think, Mark, you've changed my mind with that last statement. It's I think if they were going to do it, I think this is the best way that they could have.
Yeah. I think it's. I mean, you don't like to see it.
No.
I think when this was initially announced, I think the internet just went into a furor because they just immediately thought, "Oh, people are just being overworked.
Yeah.
Not getting anything for it. They're just chained to the desks." And I just don't think it's quite like that. Have we got any more news?
Well, I mean, I've got some. If you want me to go ahead.
Go ahead.
First. A couple of things on mine. I will just revert back to Call of Duty because I should have really said this just as we were going to enter it. So, but we got to see our first look at the zombies mode for Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Which, I mean, for me personally, I've loved every iteration of zombies on any Call of Duty really.
I don't think I've played any zombies on any of. I don't remember playing it. So.
I've absolutely loved them. I've loved all of them since well, I mean, the first time we saw it was in World at War, and that was like a surprise mode if you'd finished the campaign. Like, I think back then, I think it was like such a surprise and shock. Like, what's this? Like, what's this mode I'm playing after I've completed the campaign? Like, what's weird zombies and like in a bunker and stuff. So, but got to see the first look. It looks pretty interesting. So far as that, like, they've kind of got a new story, but it's going to be set within the same, I suppose, canon universe as what they've been doing for Black Ops. If you've not been following it, it's a mind screw of just dimensions, time travel. Just it goes absolutely everywhere. Dragons are involved at some point back in Black Ops 3. So it's absolutely nuts. But they tried to tie it all up kind of at the end of Black Ops 4, and then now they're going right. There's a new story. It's kind of set in a new universe. It's not gonna have the same characters, but stuff from history may or may not reappear and stuff. It looks a lot of fun, as zombies is always kind of done. The thing that really caught my eye in the announcement though was that they're gonna have cross progression through all the modes in Call of Duty. So kind of like for the first time, all your loadouts and stuff you'll be able to use in multiplayer, you'll be able to use in Warzone, and you'll be able to use in zombies, which is I think a really good progression. So like, you can level up your guns in multiplayer the same you do in zombies, which is cool. Another first that they're doing as well is that the progression you do in zombies contributes to the battle pass as well. So I remember how in I think it was Black Ops 4, they had like a battle pass system, but you only got to like go up through levels in multiplayer and Blackout. They kept zombies separate for one reason or another, but they decided to contribute it into this one now. So if you exclusively just played zombies, you can then get all the levels and battle pass and stuff, which is really good.
Yeah, definitely.
Really...
I mean, like yourself, if you really like the zombies game and you like getting together with a group of friends and going through the story, then it's good that contributes towards it now. So.
No, yeah, I think it's a really big move that I think everyone supports. So yeah, I'm actually kind of looking forward to the next Call of Duty. Strangely enough, I don't know whether to wait for it on next gen or not, because they got that. I think it was the £10 upgrade if you did buy it this gen, which is a bit cheeky, but I mean at least they're offering it, I suppose.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Could be worse. I want the nice new cases though, so I think I'll wait.
You'll wait. Okay, that's cool.
Well, if you can get a console, because there's
well, if you can get one.
There's been reports that some pre-orders for PS5 might not be fulfilled until next year.
Really?
Which
is insane. True.
Well, my birthday's in January, so if I can stretch it out that long,
I've kind of lost all hope of getting either of them, to be honest. So I don't think I'm going to both trying to pre-order. I'm just going to wait until things settle down.
Yeah, I'm hoping for some killer deals on Prime Day.
Plenty of games to play at the moment, so.
Well, no, there's the battle.
There's no rush. But that does mean Cyberpunk. It's going to have to wait.
Yeah, because you want to wait, don't you, for the next gen?
Because that's the one. That's the one.
Oh, no.
I'm not interested in any other next gen games at the moment.
Yeah, no, I think I concur on that one.
Sadness.
Very recently, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate revealed their new fighter within I think it's the Fire Battle Pass 2, I think. And it's... How can I best describe this one? It's something you wouldn't expect, but as a celebration of video games, as like Smash Bros. Has kind of become, it probably makes the most sense. So they've kind of revealed that Steve from Minecraft is the next fighter.
Not Mein Kampf.
Not Mein Kampf, no. Hitler's not going to come and slap Mario about a bit. Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one, but in terms of like how influential Minecraft has kind of become over the last 10 years, probably even longer actually. No, I think it's been about 10 years since Minecraft's been out or something like that.
Yeah, sounds about right.
I suppose it's supposed to make sense. It's really weird, like how they've implemented him, because like he essentially does all the things you'd think you'd do in Minecraft. So kind of you fight with a sword, you fire a pickaxe, you place blocks down on the stage. You can light up TNT and blow enemies off stage, which is hilarious. Yeah, it was a weird one. It was actually apparently the announcement ended up breaking Twitter. It was like that massive. It broke.
Just mic drop it, Steve. Whoa!
Yeah, Steve Minecraft. So as well as that, along with Steve, they've got like other skins that you can play as for Steve. So they've got one that's called Alex, which is essentially the female character. There is the zombie mobs that you can play as, and then one that's the Enderman, which is a really freaky guy who, if you stare at, ends up teleporting around and trying to hit you. I don't think he'll quite do that in Smash, but I think it would be kind of funny if he ended up being like a separate trophy that ends up fighting stuff. So, yeah, that was a unique pick, certainly. I think a lot of people would have rather had, I don't know, Dante from Devil May Cry, or I think another one, popular one that people want to see is Crash Bandicoot, which I would love to see if he ended up in Smash Bros.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. Just swizzling around or throwing Wumpa fruit.
Throwing Wumpa fruits.
Yeah.
getting rocket out and shooting people. But no, it's I mean, fair play to him to involve this kind of character because he looks like he kind of controls much different to anything else that's in there. So fair play to him. So what I saw yesterday, it looks as though the Need for Speed Hot Pursuit remaster is going to get announced on Monday.
Oh, cool.
So, well, once this goes live, it should already be announced, I think. I've not had much exposure to Hot Pursuit outside of playing the demo. I don't know if you guys have touched that one.
Yeah, I played it over a couple of days. I really enjoyed it. I like the classic Need for Speed. I like Need for Speed Most Wanted and Carbon. They're my two favourite ones, and it really reminded me of those games.
You just want your like Peugeot 106 back, don't you?
Oh, that's it. The Need for Speed Underground 2. Yeah, it just reminded me of those with all the police and stuff. So yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I'll be picking it when it gets remastered, definitely. I bought it from CEX. I played it in 2 days and then took it back.
I liked it so much, I took it back.
Well, I didn't want to replay it again. I got what I needed to out of it, and that's it. Sorry, CEX.
You should apologise.
I refuse to call it the other name.
Let's not go.
Did you guys ever play a game called Fahrenheit, or alternatively known as Indigo Prophecy, in North America?
No,
I did not, but I'm pretty sure I know who made it.
Yeah, so this was Quantic Dreams' debut title.
Yeah.
Went on to make Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls, and Detroit Become Human. I remember playing this on the PS2. Which quite liked, because it was like like these interactive drama sort of things.
Yeah.
Like in the other stages, but it's kind of like a paranormal element, and you're playing like an investigator, such that someone who's murdered someone, but there's more to it. Anyway. But anyway, that's going to get a 15th anniversary physical re-release on the PS4. It comes with a case and a sleeve, a sticker set, an art book, and a letter from the developers.
Love stickers.
Don't know what it says. I quite like that game. I mean, I'm not sure it quite had. I can't see why you'd get it on this generation, unless they've seriously redone the
updated controls and stuff. Yeah.
But it did have a very awkward sex scene in it. I can tell you that.
Okay.
Let's not get into it. See, that's the thing that's the standout of it. Other news, you like your Tekken, don't you, Nathan?
Yeah. Love Tekken.
So Tekken 7 has now surpassed 6 million copies sold.
Really?
And as a series, it has now exceeded 50 million in total. So Tekken's still very popular.
Yeah.
Isn't this thing is it's the standard video game thing now? Isn't the current one like a bit empty? And there's a lot of things like season pass and that kind of thing.
There's a lot of DLC stuff in there now.
Yeah, this seems to be a bit of a regular thing where
the game itself is really cheap. The base game, I think I picked it up for about £4 on Amazon, something like that. And you don't get very many characters.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan of the gameplay. It's all like automatic kind of now. It's like the cutscenes and stuff.
You've been doing that aimbot again.
Yeah, it was me with the 1-star review. Yeah, it just seems weird. It just doesn't seem like Tekken.
I mean, I bought it very cheap on the store, but I've not played it yet.
Yeah.
As with most things I buy, I just buy them and just sit there.
Well, I'd say give it a go. See what you think. I wouldn't turn anybody away from it. It's still an okay game, but it just doesn't feel the same for me. The last Tekken that I really enjoyed, funnily enough, was Tekken Tag Team. I think it was Tekken Tag Team 2, maybe, for the Wii U, because I just love being that giant panda. Just absolutely body slamming things. So yeah.
I think I'd have to disagree with actually Tekken 7. I quite enjoyed it. But I think that was because I liked playing as Akuma. So I just got to play like a Street Fighter and Tekken. I actually really wish they got to make that Tekken X Street Fighter game that they'd they'd announced. Because I mean, they made Akuma, and it works for the most part in a Tekken play style. So I don't know why they couldn't do the rest of the characters, but it's a shame.
Maybe another time. Maybe one day it'll come back, because there's been loads of different crossovers, and they're in the past. So yeah,
just get everyone in one game.
Yeah, all the players.
Tekken, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Soul Calibur.
SNK.
SNK, yeah. What's the other one called? Is it V-Jump? The one with all the anime characters?
Oh, Shonen Jump.
Is it Shonen? No, that's the magazine, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's where all the characters come from, though. Shonen Jump.
I mean the game.
Do you mean Jump Force?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Just get all in one game.
Lob that in.
One massive game.
Goku versus Yoda.
Match made in heaven.
Okay.
You like your Final Fantasy, don't you, Matt?
Yeah, like Final Fantasy.
So Final Fantasy 16 provisionally been given an M for mature rating, 18 in PAL region.
Oh, wow.
So this is quite. This is Final Fantasy, so obviously I know nothing about it. Never played them, but I know apparently that all the previous ones are supposed to be aimed at teens, aren't they? Is that right? Well, at least the main series, I think.
Yeah, I would say, for the most part, Final Fantasy has been kind of aimed towards kind of like that early teens to like maybe early adult-ish. Like the games all have like mature themes in them, and they can get they can be violent to a certain extent, but I would say for the most part it's very
Fantasy violence. Okay.
Yeah, fantasy violence, should we say.
I mean, I think I heard people mention that there was a lot of blood in the trailer for this. Can't quite remember. And that's probably part of why this has got originally this rating. But I guess we'll see.
Remember the blood?
It's Final Fantasy Extreme 16.
X16.
Yeah, X16.
Yeah.
My final bit of news is that Fall Guys Season 2 will release on October the 8th.
Boop, boop.
I haven't played it in ages.
I'll keep on playing on PC.
But is this the that one you were mentioning? What theme was it?
Medieval?
Yeah, but when I saw this, it didn't look like that's what it was. It looked like it was more Halloween themed.
No, it's definitely medieval. It might have some Halloween themes to it because obviously it's releasing pretty close to Halloween. But like,
yeah,
the game types will have a medieval.
I think the picture I saw it just showed a witch or something, which made me think maybe it's Halloween. But I guess that could sort of fit into medieval, couldn't it?
Yeah.
Right, I'm out of news.
Right, news. I want to got one more piece of news, which probably sounds like I might be repeating myself, funnily enough, from I think it was the last podcast or the podcast before. But Netflix have come out and said that they're working on a new Resident Evil series, but this time CG, the CGI Resident Evil series. Which obviously for me being a Resident Evil fan, I'm like, yay, more Resident Evil.
What's this
throwing
one?
in more. They didn't show much details on this one, unfortunately. It does have a title, which is called Resident Evil Infinite Darkness. And it will star the leading protagonists from Resident Evil 2, which was Leon Kennedy and Claire Redfield. Other than that, there was probably as much as we know.
Can we swap them round, please? And just have that one as the live action one.
Live action one. The one where the characters that we do know about. It could be following on from like the CG films, because Resident Evil is like a series of CGI films that sort of tie with the games, but not massively. Sometimes they do give like a hint as to what the next game might involve, but we'll just have to wait and see. They said that's going to be scheduled for release next year, so 2021.
It just feels like It does feel like Netflix just got the license from and just like now they just.
It does, yeah.
All the Resident Evil.
It does, yeah.
Can't wait for the animated version.
Yeah. It's a bit strange. Oh, I will admit, if I do go into one more last piece of news that I've not written down, but I've actually remember watching last night. I forgot what studio it was. But they've shown off a very small snippet of the new Monster Hunter film. It's made by, is it Paul W.A. Anderson, yeah, the guy who made the Resident Evil films. Funnily enough, Solving.
Yes.
And also starring his wife as well. Is it
Yeah.
Milja
Jovovich.
Jovovich? That's the one, yeah. Should off look.
It's just a Resident Evil clone.
Yeah,
That's what
they
we
made a Resident Evil clone, but with Monster Hunter. I mean, a small snippet was of Milja's character, who was in like a little small army squadron, or in like a desert with their jeep and stuff, and something in underneath the sand is coming towards them. So they're driving off, and they're shooting at one of the, I suppose probably one of the most iconic Monster Hunter monsters. I think it's called Diablos. It was really small. You didn't really get much context of what was going on. I like the look of Diablos so far. I mean, they've got him nailed down, so that's good, I guess. But I mean, for what the actual movie is going to be about, I'm still going to be up in the air if I really want to see it. I think I need to see like a proper trailer for it to really get aggressive with where they're going with the film. But I mean, so far it's okay. Yeah.
I don't know anything about the games, to be honest. I assume it's got monsters in it.
Well,
They've
the
been
clues in the
hunted.
title.
In the world. Actually, no, I never think about it, clearly.
But, right, I'm out of my news, so.
Cool. I've got one last bit that we've not covered yet.
Ooh.
Streaming services. So Amazon have come out and said they're going to be launching Amazon Luna, the game streaming service. Has anybody heard about this?
I vaguely remember this.
Yeah, anyway. So we've got pricing for the US. So the Amazon Luna Plus channel will cost $5.99 per month in early access. And there's also an accompanying controller for $49.99 in dollars. Which I've got to admit, the controller looks a bit like a Switch Pro controller knockoff, just like an off-brand version that you get from Wish. Yeah, and it's going to be available to be used on Fire Sticks and also on Windows, Mac OS devices such as iPhones, iPads, and the Windows Edge browser. Yeah, so there's no launch date in the UK yet, but people are saying it's going to be between December and January, but there's nothing concrete as to that. And some of the games that they've got, Sonic Mania, Control, Grid, Watch Dogs Legion, The Surge 2, Overcooked 2, loads of other games. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, that's quite a big one. So yeah, that's going to be coming out fairly soon. It's invite only at present, so you can't really.
Everyone's trying to get in on this gaming streaming service now, aren't they?
Definitely, everyone's got one. I think. Do we need any more?
I mean, Stadia's not. It's not all that though, is it?
No.
It's not. You're not hearing much about it, do you?
Definitely not.
Not really.
One thing that I
that's
thought.
That's the powerhouse of Google trying to get in on it.
Well, yeah.
Now you've got the powerhouse of Amazon trying to get in on it as well.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a saturated market.
Yeah, definitely, because you've got PlayStation Now, the Xbox Game Pass as well,
Yeah.
and then now you've got Stadia that came out about a year ago, and that's not done particularly well, as you said. I think Apple's got their variant, which is crap.
The Apple Arcade thing, isn't it?
Yeah. So
mobile gaming. Don't care.
Ooh, bit harsh.
Yeah, to be
Well,
honest.
if the games where you just pay once and they put work behind it, because for me, like, have you ever played the games called The Room?
Yeah, I love The Room.
They're great. It's like
Yeah.
one time fee. There's a lot behind, clearly a lot of effort. It's the way some companies monetize them. That's the thing, and it permeates into a lot of mobile games, doesn't it? So,
I
the
don't know
good
what
ones,
you're talking
the good ones are very few and far between. That's my point, really. So,
True. No, that's true.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens when that comes out and see if it's any better than the Google offering. But I'm sure we'll see in the next 6 months or so how it goes.
well, we'll await with bated breath. Okay, let's move on. What we're currently playing. So I played a football game called Golazzo.
FIFA. Oh, sorry, no. Glasgow?
Golazzo. It's like an animated kind of football game, but it's one of these games where it's like very arcadey and fouls don't seem to exist. I played 2 games, mate. So I was playing it as England against Jamaica, my first game. I ended up losing on penalties. And then in my second game, I played against Congo. And suddenly, in the 96th minute, I conceded a penalty, even though for the rest of the game, there was no fouls at all. And then suddenly, I ended up slide tackling in the area, and it said penalty. And then the Congolese player missed the penalty. And then that match finished 3-3. And then we went into penalties, and I actually managed to win that one.
England winning penalties? What's going on?
Yeah, can you believe it? It's good fun, but it's when you play FIFA quite a bit, it's the controls are completely different. So it's like slide, it's circle, square, and shoot. It's like PES controls more like.
Yeah.
But I never play PES, so it's a good little thing. It's a bit of fun, but it's not all that.
What platform did you play on?
That's PS4.
Oh.
Yeah. Golazzo Football League, it's called.
I'll have to look into.
And I played, I finally finished Assassin's Creed Origins.
Hey!
I finished it this morning. I was playing it literally all day yesterday, from about midday to almost midnight.
Oh, wow.
That's dedication there.
Just doing all the side missions. I mean, the actual proper side missions, not the, there was things like the war elephants in there.
Oh, yes, yeah.
I accidentally jumped in one of those pits, and then it's like suddenly this elephant came charging at me. I'm like, what? Am I supposed to kill this thing? And it's like, no, I'm not killing this elephant. No, I like elephants. They're nice. So I just walked straight out. But yeah, did all the side missions. Finished the game finally this morning.
Nice.
I've had enough of that game now. It's
taken
so long.
I was pretty much in the same boat. Once I'd done the last story mission, and it takes you back into Egypt. I was like, I know there's DLC that I've got for it.
Yeah, I
need a break. I don't know if I'd like to think I will eventually go back to it and do like the rest of like DLC and all stuff. But I feel like for now I'm okay. I'm a bit Assassin's Creeded out.
I also found the ending a bit on the nose, because obviously it's Assassin's Creed Origins, so it's like,
the Origins.
The end is basically explaining the beginning of the whole Assassin's thing, but it was just very on the nose in the dialogue. It's like, oh, this is our new creed. It's like, yeah, I see what you're doing. Oh, ahoy to our brotherhood. Like, stop saying all these words that we understand that are related to Assassin's Creed.
It needs to hit
we get
a checkbox.
Yeah.
Right, we're assassins. We operate in the shadows. We are a creed.
Yes. The hidden ones. Yes.
Even the future games to Valhalla.
Yeah, it was just a tick box on it.
Everyone's got a hidden blade.
Yeah, it was just tick box of this is the beginning of Assassin's Creed. Right, we get it. But anyway, done with that game. On to Odyssey, I guess.
I need a little bit of break before I go into Odyssey stuff.
I'm going to find something else to play before that.
Yeah, I get a palate cleanser game.
Yeah. But I played another game, which is actually, I was surprised to learn, it's actually 10 years old. And that was Limbo.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Did you ever play Limbo?
No, I've seen it. I will never play it. Thank you.
Yes, I'm going to mention this
Is
one.
that the one with the spider?
Yes, it's the creepiest spider I have ever seen in any game
Oh.
ever. It's atrocious. So yeah, basically Limbo is a side-scrolling platformer, puzzler. You play a small little boy who gets lost in Limbo.
The woods.
Yes, it is. But it's like got like black-white tone and grey scales, and so everything's in silhouette basically. And your little boy has just got glowing eyes. And so yeah, you come across this spider who's like massive compared to your character.
Yeah.
You've got to put like there's one moment early on, which is just real creepy. It's like so there's spiders behind a tree, and when you walk up to it, it like tries to prong you with one of its legs.
Yeah.
So what you do is
I've seen a walkthrough of it, so I know.
So you have to get a bear trap, like put it down, coax the spider into trying to jab you, puts its leg into bear trap, snaps it. You have to do that 3 times, so it's like breaks through its legs, and then it scurries off. So you're like, great, fantastic, I've got rid of the spider. And then you walk a bit further on. And you get to this bit where you're just walking up a slope, and you notice there's like webbing on the slope. And you start walking up it, and your character starts going very slow, and then comes to a complete standstill. So you're like you like trying to
jump in along.
And in the background, you can just slowly see this spider crawling up behind you. It's so creepy. And it just prongs you and then just wraps you up in webbing. It's not good. Not good. I mean, it's a great game, but that wasn't nice. But yeah, I really enjoyed playing that because it's one of those games that it was very critically acclaimed when it came out.
Oh yeah, it was massive.
I always wanted to play it, but I think the tone of it sort of put me off. But I thought, I'll go and play it.
Have you completed it?
Yeah, I completed it, yeah.
How long is it to play through?
It's not long, is it?
No, it's not too long. I'd say about between 3 and 4 hours, something like that.
Oh, that's not bad then. You can do it in a session.
I'm not sure. But I did it over like 2 sessions, I think.
I think if I could get over the first bit, I think I'd enjoy the rest. Because I've seen like a walkthrough of someone not walkthrough, let's play. And to be fair, after the end of the spider bit, it's actually kind of sad. I'm not going to spoil it. I don't want to spoil it.
It was a bit what, sorry?
It's a bit sad towards the end for it.
Yeah.
I decided something.
Yeah. But thankfully, I'm kind of glad that the spider bit is kind of early on. Just get out of the way.
Well, that's it. It's like an entry point. If you can get over it, then the rest is fine.
Yeah. Anyway, that's all I've played. So, go on, Nathan.
Me.
What are you showing and telling? It's because you always do it.
I've got
nothing to show us this time.
I've got nothing to show today. Well, actually, I've got my 3DS. One of the games that I've started playing is wrong camera. Pokemon Pearl.
That's good stuff.
Pokemon Blur.
Pokemon Blur.
That one.
Still Blur, but I get it.
Yeah, that's fine. We trust you.
Yeah, so I've started my journey. I've picked my Turtwig as my starter. Why? It's the one. It's the one. I've got my rival friend. Actually, it's more my friend. I've called him.
That's Generation 4.
Yeah, that's Gen 4. It's all coming together. I've called him Max because he looks a bit like Max from Beyblades. Yeah. Anyway, that's the whole
that Mark's not going to understand.
So I've started playing that about an hour in. So I'm just about to challenge my first gym leader. So that's all good. So I'll do that after the podcast. Other than that, I've played a lot of FIFA. In my career with Pascara. We've just won the Champions League and the league and the Coppa Italia. So we're doing really well. So dominating. What else? And apart from that, I've played a little bit of Fall Guys. And last night, I got my first crown. Oh, well, please.
Hey.
So I'm still the only one who has not. What?
Yep.
Podcast.
See, and
You'll
funnily
get it
enough, I'd not played it for a while, and I played my first game again last night, and it was the first one that I played. Did it? It's like, honestly, it's like all the stars aligned, and I was like, yeah, I'll have a game. After watching a bit of How I Met Your Mother, and yeah, I won, and I was like, right, that's it now. I'm retiring as champion. Here you go, Lisa. You can play for a bit.
So you're never playing ever again?
No, that's it. It's not going to get as
reached
good.
it.
It's like when we got to Division 1 on FIFA. I wish we'd have just stopped there, and then we could have been happy forever. Always wondering if
Oh,
we
we
could
need to
have
try
got.
and win the league, though.
Always wondering if we could have got to be champions. Yeah. Anyway.
Well, I'm never going to win a crown off all guys. So
Oh, you will. I'm sure it'll
Well,
happen.
we get that eventually.
it's not going to happen.
We'll all get to final. We'll hold people back, and then you can swoop in. And,
Well,
or we'll
Oh, well,
sabotage
then.
you and take the crown for ourselves.
We'll
you won't need to
get
sabotage.
last
I'll end
three.
up sabotaging myself. So
Yeah.
I won't need
Anyway,
help in that
that's
aspect.
yeah. Anyway, that's all I've been playing really. I've not been playing that much over the last couple of weeks.
Wow.
Been busy painting. As you can see, I'm in another room. So yeah. What about you, Matt?
Me? Ooh. Funny enough, I've actually been playing quite a bit over the last 2 weeks. So, I mean, I'll get the usual out of the way. FIFA, obviously, play with you guys in pro clubs. So, did a bit of that. Did a bit of Fall Guys on PC. Won a crown again yesterday, so I'm happy. Actually, funny enough, it was. I didn't think I'd won it. Actually, it was. Which one was it? The Jump Showdown. So if you've never played that one in the final round, it's similar to Jump Club, where there's kind of two kind of rows going around. One is kind of a big one that goes over your head, and a smaller one. But in the final showdown one, it's so there's, rather than one bar on the bottom, one kind of going around, there's two bars. And then some of the panels will drop as well, so you end up only having like two panels at the end. And there was loads of us in this one. There was about 16. Once I got to like the final panel, a lot kind of got caught out and fell over. So I got into the last two, and this guy just kind of came over and kind of held on me as the bar came over. So like knocked both of us out. And on my screen, he was like much higher than me. So I was like, "You son of a biscuit." But it gave me the win. I was like,
Oh, nice.
good.
What
That's what you
time
get
was
for being-
what time was that you were playing? Because I think I might have been in that last game. Well, not me, but Lisa. What time were it?
Well, it was on PC.
Oh,
I don't think
has it not got crossplay?
No, unfortunately,
yeah, it
Fall
wouldn't have
Guys
been.
doesn't have crossplay.
It just seems like a similar scenario to what we had yesterday. We was in like there was about 14 to 16 of us on that particular one, and got down to the last 6 or so, and
Okay.
yeah, not good enough.
At least not. Oh, that's unfortunate. So yes, I was happy. So cheaters do not prosper, apparently. Been playing. Well, I've been playing Red Dead Redemption 2 pretty much every day just to get challenged and everything. just to get that back up. So getting all the gold and getting my bounty roll up quite a bit. So I've been doing that. Doing a bit of Rocket League. So the new season started recently. When did it start? Started this week, actually. I think it was on Tuesday. But I didn't get to play it until Friday because a mate of mine that I play with on PC, he works during the day and I had a day off on Friday. So I've been doing a bit of that. That's pretty good. But some of the new stuff that I started playing has been, I started playing Sims 4 purely because of the Hall of Fame thing. It got me nostalgic for Sims. So I thought I'd go back to Sims 4 again, reinstalled it, started my save again, which apparently I'm doing the critic career path. So
What are you criticising?
At the moment, I've gone down the art and comedy route. So like, I'm like a critic for like comedy shows and art galleries and stuff. So I'm getting like my painting and comedy skills up and my writing skills up as well, which is quite cool. That's all I've been doing that at the moment. Just getting that up at the moment. One series that I've actually been doing over the last 2 weeks with my mate on PC is a series that's called We Were Here.
Okay.
I think it's something that I recommended to you, Nathan, because it's on. I think it's on Xbox. So maybe something that you and Mark could look into. Funnily enough, it's like a first-person co-op explore / puzzle game.
Oh, yeah, I remember us talking about this. Yeah.
Yeah. So the first game in the series, which is free on Steam at the moment, is just called We Were Here, and it's based on like two groups of two travelers in this snowstorm who are trying to like make their way through, and one of the pair ends up in this like kind of castle mansion kind of place. So one person ends up being what they call like the librarian, where you're in this room just for like, well, library in effect, but there's all sorts of different stuff in there. And another one ends up being like the explorer, and you essentially have to work together to help each one kind of progress. So like the librarian's got, say, we'll start off with the explorer's got like these different symbols on a wall with two different colored eyes. So the librarian's got to find a chart with those two, like with two eyes, each got like different color stuff, and you've got to tell the explorer which two symbols to press on the wall to kind of progress through into the next room.
Oh, okay.
And it's kind of got puzzles like that where like you essentially have to work together of like, right, I've got this in this room, what have you got in your room that matches that, and we can kind of work together. And it's quite interesting. It's really good good couple of games that we've been playing. So like, because we got through that in like a few hours, and then the next two in the series that we bought were We Were Here 2, which is based on the other two, like the other pair that there was with the original pair. They end up in like a separate section of like the same place, and they have to work together to like do the same stuff while working out like there's a story going through about this king who has like their children mysteriously die, and you have to like work out what's gone on there and stuff, and it involves like the queen and some sort of knight as well. It's a really like dark story, and it's got like evil spirits that pop up just as like a jump scare.
Oh, right.
which is not fun. But it's got a nice little story to it. We're just actually, I think we're about halfway through the third game in the series, which is called We Were Here Together, which is a separate pair of explorers who you think initially aren't kind of part of what's gone on, but you end up seeing like the original pair end up firing a flare at some point. There's like a we're here or something like that, and you end up seeing it in this third game. So you're like working to find out what's happened with the other guys, I suppose. It's really it's a really cool set of games. I really I recommend them. I know the first one's on Xbox, but that's about it.
I was just reading this. It says a PlayStation 4 release of the series was announced on September 24th this year, but the release date has not been announced. So,
Interesting.
It does sound good. I quite like that sound. That'd be something me and my brother might play. So I assume you play it online. Is that?
Yeah, you play it online. So what you can, yeah. So what you can do in each of the games, there's like you got essentially like a walkie-talkie. So you've got a button pressed to like talk into it. I mean, we just do it over Discord because it's a bit easier. It's a little bit difficult doing it over. Yeah, but it's no, I recommend them if you can find them. to play them. Really good.
I might wait for this PS4 release and then check that out, maybe. Well, that sounds like. There's not enough cooperative things.
No. Well, that's what we were looking for when we found them. We wanted to find more co-op stuff. So.
All right, shall we go on to the Hall of Fame then?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so this is the Video Game Hall of Fame, where we take an in-depth look at a game of high quality or historical importance and induct it into our pantheon of games we feel deserve special recognition. Our inductee this episode was developed by Russian software engineer Alexei Pajitnov in 1984, releasing initially on the Electronica 60 in the USSR in 1994 and the IBM PC over the following few years. It's Tetris.
Yeah. I'm not going to do the theme tune because I'd do it a disservice. But if anyone's played Tetris in the lives, they'll know what the theme tune is. It's very distinct. There was a bit of a scrap over Tetris when in the early years of when it first came out, over who had the rights, and they only ended up returning to Pajitnov in 1996 after it was all said and done. So it's good that it went back to the creator.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the game itself, if you've never played Tetris before, basically there's a series of different blocks that fall down into a grid, and you've got to try and get them into rows to get a Tetris, which will then remove those blocks so that you can continue trying to fill the grid and get rid of as many blocks as possible. It's very repetitive and very addictive. Personally, I'm not fantastic at it, as my wife can be testament to, because she always beats me on Tetris. But it's just a really fun game and something that you could sink a lot of time into. Yeah, I mean, it's had hundreds, well, not hundreds, but it's had tons of iterations. So the first two, Tetris and Tetris 2, came out on the Game Boy, the ones that I played anyway. And now one of the most recent ones is that people are playing is Tetris 99, which is like the battle royale style of Tetris.
That's just what we need.
Yeah, just to make it a bit more stressful. You've got
all
other people.
games to have a battle royale mode. Tetris.
It's quite good actually.
What is gaming called?
Yeah. It's quite fun. And I mean, once you've been beaten, you can get into the next game quick enough, which is always good. But basically, you play Tetris as normal, and when you get a Tetris, you can use that against other people to try and fill their board quicker than yours, and whoever lasts the longest wins. Never won that before. I generally get into the top 50, but I've never really got beyond that because I'm not very good.
What do you think it is about Tetris that makes it so popular?
I think the simplicity of the game, and it's just so open. Anybody can play Tetris. You give them a console or a gamepad, and I think after maybe 4 or 5 rounds, you probably understand 99% of the mechanics. There's some things that you might not be able to figure out straight away, like if you click a certain button, it'll basically speed up the blocks that are falling. So if you know you've got a block into a position that you want, then you can basically push that and it'll go straight to the bottom. And then you can move on to the next one just to speed the process up a bit. You can also rotate the blocks as well. So as they're falling down, you can rotate them into better positions in order to try and get more Tetris. Tetrisi. Whatever they are. So yeah, there's a couple of mechanics that you might not know straight away, but I think the second that you've got a hold of it and you're playing the game, then it's really simple to pick up, and it's really, really fun. Yeah.
I have a confession to make is that I've never really actually gone with Tetris that much. I won't be a surprise to you two.
Yeah.
Well, I might be because I'm just terrible at it. I'm absolutely horrendous at it. I don't get it. It's like I put all the colours together and then it's not doing anything, and I'm just like, isn't that supposed to do something? Am I doing it wrong?
The
Why
aim
is
of
it
the
not
game
working?
is to get lines, not the colours.
Well,
It
that's
doesn't
probably
matter
wrong.
about the colours.
The lines of what? Oh. See, I've got Tetris all wrong. This is why
Yeah,
I'm terrible.
you've
at it.
been playing it wrong.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
This is a revelation, Mark's life.
But even though it's not really my thing, I know its importance in the history of gaming. Hence why we're inducted.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, it's
yeah,
one of the
that's
reasons
important.
why the original Game Boy sold so well. Just having that game on
yeah.
it. And the price of it as well.
Well, did you know the each Tetris block has a name?
Does it?
Yeah.
I
We've all
do
got their
know,
own
but I don't know
names.
their names.
So there's 7
Okay.
different ones.
Blocks, yeah.
Yeah, 7 different blocks. So we've got Orange Ricky. So that's like the L shape.
Ricky!
Okay.
Then we got Blue Ricky, which is the backwards out. Cleveland Z or Cleveland Z. I don't know what. That's like the like a Z.
Yeah.
And then you got the Rhode Island Z or Rhode Island Z, which is like the backwards one. Hero, which is just the line. Tiwi, which is the T one.
The T, yeah.
And then you got Smash Boy, which is the square.
Smash Boy.
Smash Boy, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That'd be a great pub quiz question. What's the square Tetris block called? Smash Boy.
Well, sorry, go on.
What's your thoughts on Tetris, man?
My Tetris. I do enjoy a game of Tetris every now and then. Like it's not my go-to puzzler, but I've had some like good times whenever I've like taken sort of like my DS on holiday. So my dad will like he'll play Tetris, but he likes Tetris, and then I'll play Tetris just try and beat his high score. So that's been quite fun. It's just nice and simple, isn't it? But I think what really makes Tetris for me is the actual music. I think the music makes it really addictive.
It's really iconic, isn't it?
Yeah, like I think outside of maybe like the Mario theme song or tune, it's probably the most recognizable video game tune. I can't think of anything that really tops Tetris.
Yeah. I think at the time when it came out, it was just so foreign, wasn't it? Because it was behind the Iron Curtain of the Soviet
Well, I'm
Union.
going to say it is Russians.
This mysterious game came out. So I think that added to the mystique of it, which was pretty cool.
It can get quite addictive once you're into it as well. Like it's one of those like just another one kind of games.
Well, that's it. Like if you're not very good at it, like me, for example, a game will last a few minutes. But if you're really good, it can last hours. Well, as long as you can play it. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Have you played much of Tetris 99, Matt?
I haven't. I've got it. I downloaded it when it first came out, but I never touched it because I think it's probably a bit too competitive for me.
Yeah. To be honest, I just play it on my own, and if I do get any Tetris, it'll just automatically do its stuff. I don't really focus on trying to upset anybody else. I just play my own game, and then I end up losing. But no hate for Tetris for me.
No hate. I would like to try Tetris Effect. I remember when it came out, like a lot of review sites pretty much said it was like the best game of that year. I was like, really? Tetris?
Tetris, yeah.
Like it must have done something that was like brilliant, and I think I remember a lot of it is about the music and how it.
They actually brought the music out on vinyl as well for Tetris Effects. So
I heard about that. Yeah. It must have like brilliant music, so I'd love to give it a try. I do like the one on DS because a lot of it is like they've got like Nintendo themed levels to it. So like they'll have like you can do like a Mario one where like Mario's running on a like the level one from the original. And then they'll have like a Zelda one themed where like Link's just running on the screen, like beating up enemies every time you get like a line of stuff, which is kind of cool. I think the best thing that's going for Tetris is that it's simple and the music is just absolutely catchy. And that's what really kind of caught on for it, really, because there's nothing else like it when it came out.
Yeah. I downloaded the Tetris app, and it's let's just say it annoyed me greatly. Not because the actual game, but it's just the faff in order to actually get into a game first. You load it up and it's actually just a woman just talking to you about how there's a competition online. You complete online.
Okay.
I'm just like, what? It's like, just give me the game, please. I think it goes into like this menu of nonsense all over it, and then it's one of these games where you can only play 5 times, okay. and then like you either have to wait or you have to buy extra tickets or something to play, and I'm just like, what, this is what Tetris has become.
Right.
I mean,
No, that's why
avoid the app.
I'm gonna get you a Game Boy and Tetris for Christmas.
Yeah, let's just go old school, shall
So
we?
you can play it properly.
Yeah, it's not properly.
Or just get Tetris Effect on. It's on Xbox, isn't it? I think it was an Xbox exclusive. Is it?
It's out for PS4 as well.
There's a PS4 as well. I do apologize.
Yeah, Tetris Effects.
Things, how can you do so many things with Tetris? I don't get it.
Well, they've done it.
Clearly.
Well, the base of it is the same, but they've upgraded the graphics, changed the music.
Upgraded the graphics.
Yeah.
Well, you can. Well, there's
colourful now.
Oh,
yeah.
Colourful to begin with, right?
No, it came out on the Game Boy.
Yeah,
the green hue.
When it moved on.
Black.
When it moved on. Oh yeah. I mean, what I'd like to see is like Tetris in VR, but where like
cool.
what I'd love to see is like the game board, but it's like surrounds you like 360. I feel like that'd be a cool concept for Tetris, where you go like fill up the lines and stuff.
Yeah, I've got Tetris for the Virtual Boy, and that's pretty surreal.
I can imagine just blood red.
Yeah, well, that's it. I have to stop playing it after about 15 minutes because I do get a bit of a headache, but you know, got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, I don't know what else you could really do with Tetris, because I mean, there's the Tetris versus Puyo Puyo series on the Switch, where you can do like one side is Tetris, but the other side is like, well, Puyo Puyo. If you've never played Puyo Puyo,
that's the battle game, isn't it? Where one of you plays one of you plays another. I think that was kind of the seed for Tetris 99. Maybe
could be, yeah. I mean, look at Tetris 99. I think that's just from that spawned the Mario 35. That's actually kind of cool. I've seen people play it. It's mental. That's just the effect that Tetris has. Like I think every puzzle game after has kind of been inspired by it. I think it's the granddaddy of puzzle games.
Yeah. OG.
OG, yeah.
Wow. I guess there we have it. Tetris into the video game Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Well deserved.
Now that I know the rules, I'm guessing I'm going to have to try again.
Yeah, now you're going to have to play Tetris.
Yeah, give it a go.
So now you know how to play.
All these years, I've had it completely wrong. So, if you enjoyed listening to this, please consider tuning in next time. We release bi-weekly on Tuesdays. You can visit our website at jokingdolphin.com, where we post blogs and the Hall of Fame. Also, feel free to follow us on all social media platforms to continue the conversation. You can find Joking Dolphin on Facebook, as well as on Instagram and Twitter at Joking Dolphin. And we're also on YouTube, where you can find this very pod, as well as other videos. Until next time, thanks for listening. Ta-ra.
Bye.
In a bit.